Hey guys, Pieguyrulz here, and welcome back to Nick or Treat. Tonight, we got Danny Phantom. If you saw my Nick Miss reviews, then you should know that I love this show. Great action, great comedy, great references, a great concept to begin with. It's all so awesome. And it's pretty much perfect, aside from a few stinkers in the third season, which happened because Nickelodeon canceled the show too soon. Seriously, the Fairly Odd Parents get to keep going on and on, adding new characters every season, and yet this show wasn't able to have a satisfying conclusion paced over several episodes. Nope, we had to have a rush job because Nickelodeon just decided to randomly give it the axe. But that's a topic for another time. Tonight, we're going to talk about Fright Night. When Danny borrows a ghost's sword, he accidentally sets him loose on Amity Park. And that ghost is the Fright Night. I see what you did there, show. Much like every other ghost on the show, the Fright Night is awesome, both in design and concept. When you get hit with his sword, you get sent to a place where your worst fears become real. Though in this episode it only happens to two characters, and both times it's played for laughs. And on that note, the episode is pretty funny. If Danny loses this haunted house competition to Dash, he has to eat his disgusting, dirty jockstrap. And there's all sorts of funny lines made around this. Tucker has a line, I'm not sure what's scarier, the underwear or the fact that he carries it around in his jacket. Also, at one point, the Fright Night says, flaming bedsheets of death. That's how amazingly cheesy this show can be at times. In the best possible ways. Because really those lines make it feel like a comic book, which is what they were going for, at least a little bit in style. I could write a whole dissertation about how this show is based on Spider-Man, but I won't bore you with that. Though, on the subject of references, this episode sneaks in a tiny one to Nightmare on Elm Street. It's at this point that I should mention, though, that this isn't one of the better episodes of Danny Phantom. I chose my words very careful there because I don't want people to misinterpret this. I think it's a good episode, but I think it's on the lower end of the spectrum for Danny Phantom. And surprisingly, not the best of Halloween episodes. Which is weird, right? You think a show about ghosts would be really good at embracing Halloween, and while this does a decent job, it just doesn't go all the way. The atmosphere is no spookier than, well, any other episode. Which is not to say that it's not spooky, but they didn't up the ante. Like I said, the Fright Night hits people with his sword and sends them to their worst fears. You could have had at least one of these be something really creepy and disturbing, but no, just an island of no PDAs and endless chalkboard scratching. It's not really worst fears so much as it is worst inconveniences. If you want a real creepy episode, go with Doctor's Disorders. It has a really spooky hospital, deals with themes of fear, and all the high school kids get turned into these weird ghost-like things. They get like half ghost powers and can't control them, and the way it's presented is just all so creepy. The second and bigger problem with this episode is that Danny is an idiot. Seriously. He goes into the ghost stone and steals something. Yeah, he's gonna give it back later, but I'm not sure that all ghosts know what the concept of borrowing is. And worse than that, once Danny knows that Fright Night is in the real world, he doesn't do anything to stop him until Lancer declares that Danny is probably gonna win. Seriously, Danny, monsters are roaming the streets. You don't know how many people they've killed in this time. And look, I'm not one of those people that's gonna cry about the fact that, oh no, the main character did something wrong or slightly immoral or anything like that. It certainly doesn't ruin the episode, but I think it takes a little bit away from it. Danny is acting, well, like Timmy Turner here, incredibly irresponsible, and brings this upon himself. He even says, what's the worst that could happen? He might as well be saying, what could possibly go wrong? But again, it's not a huge problem. I mean, it led to a fun episode, and Danny apologizes and even comes clean and purposely loses the contest because he kind of cheated and almost got a bunch of people hurt. There's also something else, and it's really small, but the magical book says that Danny has to put the sword back into a pumpkin, and he ends up putting it into the pumpkin that Tuck was using to trick-or-treat. So, does it not have to be a real pumpkin? I assume he was trick-or-treating with a plastic one, unless he was trick-or-treating with a real pumpkin, in which case that just raises too many questions. Especially for the guy who thought it'd be economical to not wear anything more than Groucho glasses for a costume. But that last one's just nitpicking, and the other two complaints really aren't that big either. It's a fun episode, and though it does take place explicitly on Halloween, it's really no more Halloween-y than any other episode of the series. So if you're gonna watch one for Halloween, you might as well watch whatever episode of Danny Phantom you want. Because it's a show about ghosts, so you really can't go wrong with watching it on Halloween. Heck, I bought the complete series just a few days ago just so I can watch whatever episodes I feel like. And if you'll excuse me, I think I'm gonna go watch it now. Hey, Nosferatu, cut it out. I'm trying to end my review here. Hey, what happened to my text boxes? Alright, cut it out, whoever you are.
Ooh, I am the box ghost. Beware!
Oh, pff. I thought I had a reason to be scared there for a second. Hey, just turn the lights off when you're done, alright?
Ooh, you will be haunted. I am not letting you leave.
Okay, Box Ghost, you got me. I'm trapped within this YouTube rectangle. Oh, whatever can I do to make you stop haunting me?
What the deuce? You're supposed to be scared of me.
Wait a minute, that's not how the Box Ghost sounded. And he wasn't a literal box either. Oh no, you're not.
Very good, Pie Guy. You saw through my disguise. I do say I love making cameos in your videos.
Ugh, I knew this guy would turn up again at some point. Let's just hope this doesn't evolve into a story arc. Hey, live action Pie Guy. Any chances I can get out of here?
Maybe one that crossed over with the
Okay.
Simpsons?
Pieguyrulz, out.